Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, and translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. And this is Madhya-lila, chapter 13. The Lord's dancing at Ratha-yatra. Let's see. This is describing the Lord's internal meditation and his dancing and the feelings he has when during the Ratha-yatra, and he's showing the mood of Srimati Radharani wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. Having met Krishna, the mood of the Lord is having met Krishna at Kurukshetra and seeing him after so many years of separation. Radharani and also the residents of Vrindavan had come all the way to Kurukshetra, but the feeling of Srimati Radharani is, it's very wonderful to see Krishna, but she longs for the days of their youth and has the desire of wanting to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. And here, after Radharani expresses herself, this is now describing the conversation in which Krishna responds to her, and Mahaprabhu is meditating in this way, that Krishna is responding. Rokite tomar, I'll begin with verse number 154. Rokite tomara jivan sevi ami narayan tarashakte aste niti niti tomasane kritakori niti jai yadupuri tahatumi manahamura spurti. Krishna is saying to Radharani, you are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayan. By his merciful potency, I come to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then return to Dwarkadam. Thus you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. Morabhagya mo vishaye tomarache prema hoye se prema Parama Prabho Lukaya Amaane Sangha Karaya Tomasane Prakateha Anive Satvar. Our loving affair is more powerful because of my good fortune in receiving Narayan's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Tomara J. Prema Jatavera Vipaka Jata Dushta Kamsha Paka Taha Ame Koilun Sabakai Ache Dui Charijan Taha Mare Brindavan Ailam Ami Janiya Nishoy. I've already killed all the mischievous demons who were enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsha and his allies. But there are 2 to 4 demons still living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavan. Please know this for certain. Say Shatru Gana Hoite Braja Jana Rakite Raheraje Ulasina Haya Jebastri Putradane Kore Raja Abarane Yaduganer Santosha Lagia. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom in Dwarka. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the yadus. Tomaraje prema gun kore ama akarshan anibe ama dina dasha bishe puna ashi vrindavane braja badu tomasane bilasiba rajani divase. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 to 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Brajabhumi. Etatare kohi Krishna, Braje jaite satrishna, ek shloka parishunaila, se shloka shunirara, kandila sakalabhara, Krishna prapte pratini hoila. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavan. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. Mai bhaktir bhutanam amritat vaya kalpate distyayad asin matsneho bhavatina mad apana. Lord Shri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have attained from me by good fortune is the only reason for my returning to you. Esab arta prabhu swarupera sane ratridine garebashi kore asvadane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sit in his room with Swarup Damodar and taste the topics of these verses day and night. Nritya kale se babe avishtahaya shloka parinache Jagannath mukha chaya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, completely absorbed in ecstatic emotion. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannath, he danced and recited these verses. Swarup Gosarabhagya na jai varnan prabhute avishta jara kai bhakyaman. No one can describe the good fortune of Swarup Damodar, for he is always absorbed in the service of the Lord with his body, mind, and words. Swaruper indriye prabhur nijendriya gan avishtahaya kore gana asvadan. The senses of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of Swarup. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to become fully absorbed in tasting the singing of Swarup Damodar. Bhavera aveshe kabu bhumete vasya Tarjanite bhume like adomu kahaya. In emotional ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes sit on the ground and looking down, would write on the ground with his finger. Angulite katahabe janidamodar bhayanejakore nivaraye prabhukar. Fearing that the Lord would injure his finger by writing in this way, Swarup Damodar checked him with his own hand. Prabhur Bhavanu Rup Swarup Eragan Jabe Je Rasataha Kore Murtiman. Swarup Damodar used to sing exactly according to the ecstatic emotion of the Lord. Whenever a particular mellow was being tasted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar would personify it by singing. Sri Jagannath Eradeke Sri Mukha Kamala Tahara Upara Sundara Nayana Jugala. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked upon the beautiful lotus-like face and eyes of Lord Jagannath. Suryara Kirane Mukh Kore Jalamal Malyabhastra Dibya Alankara Parimal. Lord Jagannath was garlanded, dressed with nice garments and adorned with beautiful ornaments. His face was glittering from the rays of sunshine, and the entire atmosphere was fragrant. Prabhura Hridaye Ananda Sindhu Utalila Unmara Janjabat Tatkane Utila. As an ocean of transcendental bliss expanded in the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and symptoms of madness immediately intensified like a hurricane. Anandon Mare Utaya Bhavera Taranga Nana Baba Shanye Upajila Judaranga. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight. Bhavodaya Bhava Shanti Sande Shabaya Sanchare Satvika Stai Swabhava Prabhaya. There was an increase in all the natural emotional symptoms. Thus there were awakening emotions, peacefulness, joy, mixed, transcendental and prevalent emotions, and impetuses for emotion. So this is called Bhavodoya, Bhava Shanti. Shanti is the joining. Savaya is mixing. Satvika Savaya Sanchari is giving impulse for all kinds of emotions. Satvika, transcendental stai. All these emotions, divine forms of ecstasy and bhava were prevalent in Mahaprabhu's being and in his words, everything. Prabhura Sharira Jena Shuddha Hemachal Bhava Pushpa Drumatahe Pushpita Sakal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body appeared like a transcendental Himalaya mountain bearing ecstatic emotional flower trees, all of them blooming. Dekite Akarshaye Savarachitaman Premamrita Vrishti Prabhu Shinche Sabarman. The sight of all these symptoms attracted everyone's mind and consciousness. Indeed, the Lord sprinkled everyone's mind with the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead. Jagannatha Sevak Jata Rajapatragan Jatrikalok Nilachala Vasijata Jan. He sprinkled the minds of the servants of Lord Jagannath, the government officers, the pilgrim visitors, the general populace, and all the residents of Jagannath Puri. He showered upon them all his ecstatic emotions, and they were all affected by Mahaprabhu's love of Godhead. Prabhura Nitya Prema Deki Hoy Chamatkar Krishna Prema Ucha-lila Hridaye Savar. Upon seeing the dancing and ecstatic love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became astonished. In their hearts they became infatuated with love of Krishna. Preminache Gai Lok Kore Kolahal Prabhura Nitya Deki Save Anande Vibal. Everyone danced and chanted in ecstatic love, and a great noise resounded. Everyone was overwhelmed with transcendental bliss just to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyara ki kai Jagannatha Haladar Prabhura Nritya Deki Suke Chalela Mantar. Apart from the others, even Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram, with great happiness, began to move very slowly upon seeing the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the cars would stop and move slowly as Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Baladev on their own Rath carts would slow down to watch Mahaprabhu's dancing. Kamal Suke Nritya Ranga Deke Rata Raki A Kotaka Jada Kila Setara Saki. Lord Jagannath and Lord Balaram sometimes stopped the car and happily observed Lord Chaitanya dancing. Anyone who was able to see them stop and watch the dancing bore witness to their pastimes. Emata Prabhu Nritya Korite Brahmite Prataparudra Age Lagila Padite. When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and wandering in this way, he fell down in front of Maharaj Prataparudra. Sambrame Prataparudra Prabhu Ke Darila Tahake Dekite Prabhur Bhaya Jnana Hoila. Maharaj Prataparudra picked up the Lord with great respect, but upon seeing the king, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his external senses. Rajadeki Mahaprabhu Korana Dikar Chi Chi Vishayera Sparsha Hoila Amar. After seeing the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu condemned himself, saying, "Oh, how pitiful it is that I have touched a person who is interested in mundane affairs." So you see, Chi Chi, oh, how unfortunate it is that this king, who's a mundane person, has touched me. Aveshete Nityananda Nahoila Sabadane Kashishvara Govinda Shila Anyastani. Not even Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Kashishvara or Govinda took care of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he fell down. Nityananda was in great ecstasy, and Kashishvar and Govinda were elsewhere. Jajapi Rajardeki Hadira Sevan Prasanahaya Chaitare Milibariman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already been satisfied by the king's behavior, for the king had accepted the service of a sweeper for Lord Jagannath. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually desired to see the king. Tatapi apanagane korite sabadan baikichu oroshabas koila bhagavan. However, just to warn his personal associates, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, externally expressed feelings of anger. Prabhuravachane Raja Mane Hoilabai Sarvabhoma Kohe Tumi Nakoras Samshai. King Prataparudra became frightened when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed external anger. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told the king, "Don't worry. Tomara upare prabhur suprasanaman tomalatya kore shikayena nijagan." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya informed the king, "The Lord is very satisfied with you. By pointing you out, he was teaching his personal associates how to behave with mundane people." Avasara Jani Ami Koriba Nibedan Sekali Jai Korea Prabhura Milan. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continued, "I shall submit your petition when there is an appropriate moment. It will then be easy for you to come and meet the Lord." Tabe Mahaprabhu Ratha Pradakina Korea Rata Pache Jai Tele Rate Matadiya. After circumambulating Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went behind the car and began pushing it with his head. Because it had stopped, Mahaprabhu went behind the Rath car of Jagannath and pushed it with his head. Telite Chalila Ratha Huda Kori. Telite Chalila Ratha Hura Kori Chaturdike Lok Sab Bole Hari Hari. As soon as he pushed, the car immediately started to move, making a rattling sound. The people all around began to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hari, Hari. Tabe Prabhu Nija Bhakta Gana Loya Sange Baladeva Subhadagre Nritya Kore Range. As the car began to move, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates in front of the car, occupied by Lord Balaram and Subhadra, the goddess of fortune. As the car began to move, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates in front of the cars, occupied by Lord Balaram and Subhadra, the goddess of fortune. Greatly inspired, he then began to dance in front of them. Tahan Nritya Kore Jagannath, Age Aila, Jagannath Deke Nritya, Korite Lagila. After finishing the dance before Lord Baladev and Subhadra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came before Lord Jagannath's car. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, he began to dance again. Chaliya Aila Ratha Balagande Stane Jagannath Ratha Raki Deke Daki Dahine Bame Chaliya Aila Ratha Balagande Stane Jagannatha Ratha Raki Deke Dahine Bame. When they reached the place called Balagande, Lord Jagannath stopped his car and began to look left and right. Bame Vipra Shashana Narikelaban Dahine Ta Pushpadhyana Jaina Vrindavan. On the left side, Lord Jagannath saw a neighborhood of Brahmins and a coconut tree grove. On the right side, he saw nice flower gardens resembling those in the holy place of Vrindavan. Age Nritya Kore Gora Loya Bhaktagan Ratha Raki Jagannatha Korana Darshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees were dancing in front of the car, and Lord Jagannath, having stopped the car, watched the dancing. Se stale boga lage achaye niyam kote boga Jagannatha kore asvadan. It was customary that food be offered to the Lord at Viprashashana. Indeed, innumerable dishes of food were offered, and Lord Jagannath tasted each one of them. So this is during the Ratha-yatra. When it becomes time for the meal, then they stop, and right in the path they offered lunch to Lord Jagannath. Jagannath there, Chota Bora, Jata Bhaktagan, Nija Nija Uttama Bhog Kore Samarpan. All kinds of devotees of Lord Jagannath, from neophytes to the most advanced, offered their best cooked food to the Lord. Raja Mahishi, Brinda Patra Mitragan, Nilachala Basi, Jata Chota Borajan. These devotees included the king, his queens, his ministers and friends, and all big and small residents of Jagannath Puri. Nana Desher Deshi, Jata Jatrika Jan, Nija Nija Boga, Tahan Kore Samarpan. All the visitors who had come from different countries to Jagannath Puri, as well as the local devotees, offered their personally cooked food to the Lord. Age Pache Dui, Parshve, Pushpodhyana Bane, Jai Jahapai Lagaya, Nahika Niyame. The devotees offered their food everywhere, in front of the car and behind it, on the two sides and within the flower garden. Wherever possible, they made their offering to the Lord, for there were no hard and fast rules. Bogera samaya loker mahabidai hoila nrityachari Mahaprabhu upavane gela. While the food was being offered, a large crowd of people gathered. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped his dancing and went to a nearby garden. Primaveshe Mahaprabhu upavana paya pushpa udyane griha pindaya rohila padaya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the garden and, immersed in great ecstatic emotion, fell flat on a raised platform there. Nritya parishrame prabhur dehe ganagram sugande shitala vayu korana sevan. The Lord was very much fatigued from the hard labor of dancing, and there was perspiration all over his body. He therefore enjoyed the fragrant cool breeze of the garden. Chadabhakta kirtaniya asya arame prativrika tale sabe korana vishrame. All the devotees who had been performing Sankirtan came there and took rest under each and every tree. Eta kahila prabhur Mahasankirtan Jagannathera Age Jaiche Korila Nartan. Thus I have described the great performance of congregational chanting by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he danced in front of Lord Jagannath. Ratha-grete Prabhu Jaiche Korila Nartan Chaitanya Ashtake Rupa Gosai Koryache Varnan. In his prayer known as Chaitanyastaka, Sri Rupa Goswami has given a vivid description of the Lord's dancing before the car of Jagannath. Ratha-ruda Sharad Adi Bharavi Nilachala Pater Adabra Premormi Surita Natanolasa Vivashaha Saharsham Gayadbi Parivrikta Tanur Vaishnava Janai Sa Chaitanya Kimme Punar Api Drishor Yashyati Param. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced down the main road in great ecstasy before Lord Jagannath, the master of Nilachala, who was sitting on his car, overwhelmed by the transcendental bliss of dancing and surrounded by Vaishnavas who sang the holy names. He manifested waves of ecstatic love of Godhead. When will Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again be visible to my vision? Ihaje Shune Se Sri Chaitanya Pai Sudrida Vishwasa Saha Prema Bhakti Hoy. Anyone who hears this description of the car festival will attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will also attain the elevated state by which he will have firm conviction in devotional service and love of Godhead. Sri Rupa Raghunath Parijara Ansh Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I Krishnadas narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, 13th chapter, describing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dancing at Lord Jagannath's car festival. Now we'll sing Hari Haraya. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhu Sudana Gopal Govinda Shimadhu Sudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sari Kora Bhaktivedanta Gadadhara Shiva Sari Kora Bhaktivedanta Jarupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha Jarupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunatha Srijiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunatha Srijiva Gopala Bhakta Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Echai Kori Charana Jai Te Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Te Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Mui Charadan Echai Gosai Jar Mui Charadan Sasava Parareni Mora Panchagram Sasava Parareni Mora Panchagram Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevan Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevan Janame Janame More Abhilas Janame Janame More Abhilas Echai Gosai Jabe Raja Koila Bhan Echai Gosai Jabe Raja Koila Bhan Radha Krishna Nitya-lila Kodila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya-lila Kodila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Padma Koriyan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Padma Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratam Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhariju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tara Sarashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tara Sarashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tara Sarashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tara Sarashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sunanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishwavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavadam Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan. Sham Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Raman Madhav Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.